Welcome to Pattaya True Crime, where we recap some of the dark and chilling crimes and unfortunate events that has happened in Pattaya City and the surrounding areas. Warning: listener discretion is advised. This podcast explores graphic content and disturbing themes that might not be suitable for all audiences. Rightio, welcome back to another episode of Pattaya True Crime. This is episode 19. Your host, as always, Marcus Obi. Episode 19 this week, we have a few... what have we got? We've got a whole bunch of stuff happening this week, heaps of crazies. We've got a few more joining the Pattaya Flying High Club, unfortunately. The call centre gangs, they're still running amok. Miracle Herb madness, we'll get into that a bit later, and definitely a few punch-ups. Righto, we'll get straight into it, eh? Number 1. Pattaya police probe fatal fall as Chinese group flees hotel. So police have found suspicious circumstances surrounding the death of a Chinese man, approximately 20 years old, who fell from the 6th floor, in air quotes, fell, of a 7-story hotel in North Pattaya. Before police could arrive to the scene, dozens of Chinese nationals staying at the hotel have already packed all their gear up and buggered off. Suspicious. So while examining the 6th floor, which contains 16 rooms, 8 per row, of the hotel in North Pattaya, Moose 6 Naklua, investigators found evidence that occupants had suddenly moved out. Each room appeared to resemble a scammer gang office, with computer equipment connections still visible, although the computers have all been removed and multiple mobile phones were left behind. Police have not yet confirmed the identity of the deceased. The body has been sent for a detailed autopsy at the Institute of Forensic Medicine Police Hospital, along with identity verification procedures. A passport found in the room, corresponding to where the victim fell, identified him as a 24-year-old Chinese national. We'll leave his name out of there. CCTV footage from the hotel's basement showed a group of 10 Chinese nationals, both men and women, come down to the basement level. Each person appeared panicked, carrying luggage, backpacks and computer equipment, loading them into sedans and SUVs before leaving the hotel. The Pattaya Police investigation team are currently working to trace the mystery of this Chinese national man's death and are tracking down the group who fled for questioning. Yeah, that's all a bit sus, eh? They're bloody all running off after he fell out of the top floor. Anyway, we'll carry on. Number 2. A security guard was brutally attacked by a gang in Pattaya's Soy Bacau. CCTV captured the violent assault. The incident unfolded in the early hours of the morning. A 41-year-old guard was viciously attacked by a gang of 627 assailants outside a nightlife venue in Soy Bacau in South Pattaya. The assault, described by witnesses as resembling a scene from a lawless frontier, of all places, mind you. So it was all captured on CCTV, providing clear evidence of the brutal attack. At around 4 a.m, the Sawang Bulibun Rescue Unit in Pattaya received a distress call reporting a violent assault in front of an entertainment venue. Pattaya City Police and the volunteer rescue workers rushed to the scene to investigate. Upon arrival, authorities found a crowd of panicked locals and tourists gathered around the victim. So he sustained severe injuries, including a bloodied face with lacerations and multiple bruises across his body. Visibly dazed, he received medical treatment from rescue workers before being rushed to the hospital. According to eyewitnesses, a group of young men approached the victim and launched a ferocious attack, punching and kicking and throwing him to the ground. Even as he lay motionless, they continued their relentless attack without mercy. Bystanders attempted to intervene, but the attackers showed no regard for their pleas or rule of law. CCTV footage confirmed the witness accounts, clearly showing the young men carrying out the savage beating. After the attack, the suspects casually walked to their motorcycles and fled the scene as if nothing happened. Yeah, I've got it'll be on the Facebook page if you want to have a look at that one. He copped it. He definitely copped it. Pattaya police immediately issued a radio alert to apprehend the suspects based on eyewitnesses' descriptions and CCTV evidence, but the group remains at large. So investigations suggest the attack may have stemmed from personal disputes, so it was either a romantic conflict or a road altercation, they reckon. There's unconfirmed reports of this being the same guard that was involved in the assault on the big Swede bloke in last week's episode, but that's unconfirmed. Cannot confirm that. Police have deployed an investigation team to track down the suspects and bring them to justice. Authorities are urging anyone with info to come forward as the investigation continues. Right. So, on top of that, an unidentified foreign man who helped the guard who got the hiding. He provided assistance before medical teams and law enforcement arrived. He was widely praised by Thais on social media for his kindness. So whether or not this guard was involved in last week's beating of the Swedish bloke, he's arguing with his Thai missus. That was in last week. Talked about that one. Yeah. So it all comes around, doesn't it? Foreigners helping him. Anyway. Number 3. Pattaya tourist police raid a luxury villa. Chinese national posing with guns on social media. Oh yeah, this one. This is funny. So they executed the raid on the lavish villa in a high-end community following reports of a Chinese national flaunting firearms on his social media. Pretty smart. The operation was conducted under a search warrant issued by the Pattaya Provincial Court. The target property, located in Theprasit Soi Mu 12, in a 2-story luxury home valued at over 10 million baht. Fancy. Acting on a tip from an informant about the Chinese tourist using his social media profile pictures posing with multiple firearms, authorities gathered evidence and secured the warrant. Upon arrival, officers found the front gate unlocked, and after receiving no response from their signals, they employed tactical methods to search the premises room by room. Inside, they encountered a Thai driver, a Chinese male, and a housemaid, who all identified themselves. A further search of the second floor bedrooms revealed 5 additional Chinese nationals, 3 men and 2 women, who were only temporarily detained as they were not the primary targets. After questioning, police identified the suspect's room, where they found Mr. Lu, 47-year-old Chinese national, who emerged visibly shocked by the police presence. Officers presented the warrant and searched the room, finding a BB gun on the cabinet, a long-barreled BB gun in the wardrobe, and 16 rounds of 9mm ammunition in a safe. No real firearms were found. During questioning, Mr. Lu claimed he only possessed BB guns and that the firearms in his social media photos were videos belonged to a friend who he borrowed them from a shooting range, a friend from a shooting range, for posing purposes only. He also stated that the ammunition was left by this unknown friend. Questionable, maybe. I don't know if you can take real guns home from a firearm. Anyway, We don't know. Speculation. So the police arrested Mr. Liu and seized the 16 rounds of ammunition as evidence. He was taken into custody and handed over to investigators for legal proceedings. The case remains under investigation as authorities verify his claims and determine further charges. This is, you even just having live ammunition as a foreigner without a permit, you can end up with 15, 20 years in jail for that. Got to be careful with that, people. Be careful. Carrying on, number 4. We've got another flying club. South Korean man. It's pretty insensitive. It's not very nice to say that, but happens wee bit often. Anyway, South Korean man plunges to his death in a mystery from a Pattaya hotel. The South Korean man plunged to his death from a Pattaya hotel rooftop in the late night, just 2 days before the young Chinese man fell and died. That was in the first story. It's unclear whether it was an accident or whether he is another victim. The victim of the Pattaya Flying High Club. It's pretty shit to say that, but that's what's always being reported. Emergency crews from the Sawang Buli Bun Rescue Unit were called to the scene around 10:06 p.m. It's pretty precise. After reports of a man falling from height at a 9-story hotel near Jomtien Beach. The hotel's name is being withheld by the police while they investigate. The victim was a 70-year-old man who'd been staying alone on the 5th floor in a room. His body was found on the ground outside the hotel, and police quickly sealed off the area with a white sheet covering the corpse. Officers from Pattaya City Police Station and the Dongtan substation joined experts from the Chonburi province to examine the scene. The hotel's 47-year-old security guard, who'd only been working at the hotel for 5 days, told the police there were strong winds before it happened. This is a quote. "I heard a loud noise like something heavy falling. I called the team and we found his body beside the building." Poor bugger's only there for a week and you've got to see that. So the lieutenant colonel is leading the investigation under the supervision of the police colonel. Police have not ruled out homicide, accident or foul play. His body has been sent to the Police General Hospital Institute in Bangkok for a full autopsy to determine the exact cause of death. Pretty obvious. The footpath. So, just a few days before. This was just 2 days earlier. The young Chinese man fell from another building. The back-to-back deaths have once again raised troubling questions about safety, mental health, and what really goes on inside Pattaya's budget hotels. We don't know what happens. Yeah. Number 5. Carrying on. Pattaya tourist police raid a shop selling overpriced miracle herbal hair regrowth products to foreigners. Come on, man. Anyway, I'll finish it and then have a rant. What do you reckon? So the Pattaya tourist police conducted a raid on a shop accused of selling overpriced herbal hair products to unsuspecting tourists. The operation followed a complaint lodged by an Indian national at the Pattaya City Police Station. According to the victim's statement to police, he was approached by 3 foreign men. The men engaged him in conversation and prompted a herbal product they claimed could regrow hair. They persuaded him to visit the shop, located near Baywalk Hotel. There, the victim purchased 3 bottles of an unidentified herbal mixture combined with coconut water and 4 bars of soap for approximately 51,000 baht. That's about 2,000 300 Aussie dollars, about that. He paid 15,000 baht in cash and transferred an additional 99,000 Indian rupees. After leaving the shop, the victim realised that the items were grossly overpriced and reported the incident to police, seeking legal action. Following the complaint, a team of police inspected the reported shop but found it empty. The team then proceeded to another shop in Soi 13-2, where they discovered 2 Pakistani nationals and 4 Thai women selling herbal products to foreign tourists. A search uncovered 1 bottle of organic cold-pressed coconut oil mixed with butterfly pea powder, whatever the fuck that is, and other identified ingredients, as well as a jar of coconut treatment mixed with similar substances, matching the description provided by the victim. It's getting hard to hold in, ladies and gentlemen. I want to go on the rant, but we're nearly finished, and then I will. The 6 individuals were detained and charged with producing and selling unregistered herbal products without authorization. Additionally, the 2 foreign nationals were charged with working in Thailand without permits. All suspects and seized evidence were handed over to Pattaya City Police Station for further legal action. Authorities are continuing their investigation to ensure justice for affected tourists to curb illegal operations targeting visitors in Pattaya. Right. I'm bold. There's a lot of people that are bold out there. None of this shit works. Not that I've tried it, but there wouldn't be fucking bold people if you could just rub some coconut oil with butterfly fucking pea or shit or whatever, cold pressed fuck bullshit. You can't. It doesn't work. That's why there's bold people out there. And if you're going to get persuaded into spending that much money on a jar of nothing, then you're a dickhead. Anyway, rant over. I think it was last year. This was a similar thing like this happened. It was on the podcast, if you remember or not. It was in one of the earlier episodes. So yeah, there you go. I'm not angry or anything. It's just, makes you crazy. Come on, think about it. Carrying on to number 6. In the early hours of the morning, Pattaya police descended on Soi VC in South Pattaya, responding to residents' complaints about a group of over 50 foreign nationals causing a ruckus. This is the Kuwaiti boys. The group, mainly from Kuwait, was reported to have been racing motorcycles, revving engines, and repeatedly honking their horns from midnight until dawn, disturbing the peace in the residential area. At 3:30 a.m., more than 10 officers set up checkpoints at both ends of Soi VC after locals voiced their frustrations. Residents described the relentless noise from horns and exhaust as unbearable. With some elderly family members and young children they said they've been startled in the night from all this noise. So, fearing escalating tensions, they urged authorities to intervene. I'll do a bit of a backdrop. So, for the last couple of years, this is before I started doing this podcast, but it was all over the joint. This time of the year, all the boys from Kuwait, they come over to Thailand for their summer break from uni or whatever they do, and their type of letting loose is to hire scooters and race them up and down the road, do skids and whatnot, and it's been pretty shit to the point where massive altercations have happened between groups of Kuwaiti boys and Thai boys, and they've, driving like dickheads and crashing into shops, causing damage. So that was last year, I think. So this year the coppers are really onto it, setting up checkpoints and busting them all. Anyway, backstory done, I'll carry on. So the police swiftly cordoned off the area and found the group racing motorcycles through the Soi. Some attempted to flee via U-turn points, but officers managed to seize over 10 motorcycles and issue impound notices. Most riders were found without driver's license or helmets, violating traffic regulations. The foreign nationals were ordered to report to the police station that morning to pay fines in accordance with the law. Authorities issued a stern warning that repeat offenders could lead to harsher penalties, including deportation. So yeah, this is like I just said, this is an ongoing problem this time of the year. Thousands of Kuwaiti college students come to Pattaya for a break, and they for some reason think it's okay to hire scooters and race them around. It's caused heaps of problems in the past. Last year, we've already done that. No good. It's no good. Number 7. Man critically injured after being hit by a truck while crossing the road in Pattaya. The victim was on his phone, witnesses say. The serious incident occurred on Highway 331 in Sudahip, inbound to Bowin. The Sawang Bulibun Rescue Unit received a report of a pedestrian being struck by a vehicle. At the scene, authorities found a 6-wheel truck loaded with scaffolding parked on the side of the road. The driver, 41-year-old, was waiting to provide a statement to officials. Nearby, a 42-year-old lay critically injured in a pool of blood after being struck by the truck while crossing the road on foot. Rescue workers provided first aid before urgently transporting the man to the hospital. The driver of the truck stated that he was driving to deliver scaffolding to Sriracha when the victim, engrossed in a phone conversation, crossed the road in front of the vehicle. Despite honking the horn and jamming on the brakes, he couldn't avoid the collision. CCTV footage captured the incident, showing the man crossing the highway while talking on his phone, oblivious to the traffic. He first cut in front of an SUV in the most left lane before stepping in the path right into the path of the truck in the right lane, leading to the tragic impact. This incident serves as a reminder of the dangers of distracted walking, particularly when crossing the road. Authorities continuing their investigation. Seen the video? I'll pop it up on Facebook. It's pretty shit. Keep an eye out, guys. Looking at your phone crossing the road's pretty stupid. Number 8. A violent brawl among Korean tourists in a Pattaya restaurant, rather. They ended up being fined a total of 100,000 baht. The violent altercation broke out among a group of Koreans at a popular restaurant in central Pattaya in the early hours, causing a chaos and damage to the establishment. The incident, captured in a widely shared social media clip, showed the group engaging in a heated brawl, throwing glasses and exchanging punches, with little regard for other patrons in the restaurant. The clash happened around 3:30 a.m. at a local eatery specialising in Thai hot pot and grilled pork, located off Mu 6 in Naklua. The video footage depicted a chaotic scene, with the tourists' aggressive behaviour disrupting the dining experience of others. Following the incident, Lieutenant Colonel and the Deputy Superintendent of the Pattaya City Police Station, led by a team of officers, to the scene. Authorities detained 4 Koreans, all of them who were friends dining at the same table when the dispute escalated into violence. The group were taken to Pattaya City Police Station for questioning, accompanied by the unidentified restaurant owner who provided further details. Investigations revealed that the restaurant is pressing charges against the group for property damage and unpaid dining expenses. The establishment estimated damages at 50,000 baht per involved party, totaling 100,000 baht for the 2 opposing sides. After discussions, the Korean tourists agreed to cover the full cost of the damages. Police charged the group with public brawling, imposed fines and released them. Reporters visited the restaurant later that day to gather more information but found staff reluctant to comment. The exact cause of the dispute remains unclear, although witnesses confirm the group were seated together right before the fight broke out. Yeah, it's pretty. Again, seen the video clip. I'll pop it up on the Facebook page, Pattaya True Crime, if you want to have a peep. Yeah, they went at it, throwing buckets of ice at each other's faces. It was, yeah, right in the middle of everyone eating. Anyway, carrying on. Number 9, an American tourist assaulted by a Pattaya bar owner over alleged video recording. A foreign bar owner in Pattaya physically assaulted an American tourist in the early hours of the morning for recording a video on his premises. The 38-year-old man reported the assault to the Muang Pattaya police station at 2:50 a.m. He arrived with visible injuries and presented a video of the incident as evidence. According to a statement released via Facebook page, Exposed by Red Roof 2, that's the name of the Facebook page, by the way, police confirmed that the man sustained multiple bruises to his face and lacerations near his eyebrows and eyes. His head was reportedly covered with blood when he arrived at the police station. He said he visited Pattaya on several occasions in the past and never encountered any violence until now. He explained that he had been drinking alone at a bar on Soy Bacau until closing time, as he filmed a video of the bar's atmosphere, something he claimed he routinely did. The foreign bar owner, whose nationality has not been disclosed, allegedly approached him aggressively. He said the man confronted him without a clear reason, then repeatedly punched him in the face until he collapsed. The American insisted he did not provoke the attack. He had paid his 700 baht for his drinks and confirmed that no other patrons were captured in the video, in case privacy had been a concern. Police have called on any eyewitnesses to come forward with information and said they plan to examine CCTV footage from the bar. Officers promise to ensure justice is served for both parties. There you go. You've got a hiding. Probably just don't record anything in bars. It's pretty straightforward. It can be, some people that are in there, they don't want to be recorded. That's actually a law in Thailand. You can't, even though he's saying he didn't record anyone's faces, but, Anyway, we'll carry on. Number 10. Oh, this is a good one. Kidnapping. A daring kidnapping and robbery unfolded in the early hours when a group of assailants, posing as police officers, abducted a Chinese national in front of a noodle shop in North Pattaya. CCTV footage captured the chilling moment at approximately 5:27 a.m, showing 2 men dressed in black forcibly dragging the victim into a white SUV. The incident occurred outside the noodle shop in Mu 6 in Naklua. A lot happening around that area, isn't there? Anyway, according to eyewitness, who requested to remain anonymous due to safety concerns, the victim identified as Mr. Lin, a 52-year-old man. He was with 2 other Chinese nationals eating at the shop, which operates primarily at night. After finishing their meals, the group began to part ways. One drove off in a black Toyota Fortuner, another walked into a nearby alley, and Mr. Lin remained, waiting for a ride he booked through the Bolt app. Moments later, a white SUV pulled up, and 2 men in black hoodies emerged, forcibly pushing Mr. Lin into the vehicle. The witness reported hearing the assailants shout, "I'm the police, you call centre," leading them to initially believe the men were law enforcement officers apprehending a suspect, thinking he was a part of a call centre thingy, by the sounds of it. So Mr. Lin reported to Pattaya Police Station at around 9 a.m. on the same day, detailing the ordeal. He stated to reporters that 4 men claiming to be police accused him of being involved in a call centre scam. They restrained his hands behind his back and held him at gunpoint. Though it remains unclear if the weapon was actually a firearm. The assailants, communicating in a mix of Thai and broken English, searched him and stole a iPhone 13 Pro, Oppo 16 Pro, 15,000 baht in cash, and a pair of prescription sunglasses. Additionally, they forced a transfer of 150,000 baht from a Chinese bank account via mobile app. After robbing him, the suspects drove him to a shooting range along the railway road, approximately 9 kilometres from the crime scene, where they released him, returning only his room keycard. Not good. Distraught and shaken, Mr. Lin sought help from a security guard at the shooting range, who contacted his friends and alerted the police. The total value of the stolen property and money is estimated over 230,000 baht. Pattaya police investigators have since visited the crime scene and are reviewing CCTV footage and track the suspect's movements. The cameras captured the white SUV turning into Soi Chang, heading towards Pattaya North Road, and later appearing where Mr. Lin was released. Authorities are withholding further details to avoid tipping off the suspects and have pledged to provide updates as the investigation progresses. So the security guard at the shooting range confirmed that Mr. Lin appeared terrified when seeking assistance, prompting immediate action to notify the police. The case has raised concerns about safety in the bustling tourist city, with authorities now intensifying efforts to apprehend the culprits. So, and then it carries on to just 2 days later, police announced the arrest of the gang, comprising of 2 Chinese nationals and 2 accomplices who are Thai. Following an intensive investigation, a joint task force was onto it, comprising of the Region 2 Police, Immigration Bureau, Tourist Police and Pattaya City Police. Traced the suspects using CCTV. The white SUV was located, leading to the arrests. The 4 suspects identified as a 37-year-old and a 63-year-old, both Chinese nationals, along with a 35-year-old and a 28-year-old, both Thai nationals. They all confessed to the crime. They admitted to being hired by a Chinese man to carry out the robbery. One of the Chinese nationals drove the getaway vehicle while the other guy and the 2 Thai nationals executed the abduction and robbery. After abandoning the vehicle, the group fled to Minburi in Bangkok, where they divided the stolen money. The victims' mobile phones were discarded in a body of water. Police recovered the suspect vehicle at the residence in Minburi and are working to retrieve the remaining stolen property. Authorities have confirmed that the gang was not impersonating police officers, but solely motivated by financial gain. The suspects have been charged with jointly committing robbery. Police are continuing their investigation to gather evidence and apprehend the alleged mastermind. And they did. Police busted the mastermind behind it all. The following day or something, I think it was. Immigration officers arrested a 30-year-old Chinese national that at the departure checkpoint in Suvarnabhumi Airport while he was holding a boarding pass for a flight to Cambodia. Well, he's fucked. Didn't get away with it. Some sort of mastermind. Carrying on to number 11. What was this one? Oh, yep. So Pattaya police arrest a 19-year-old with a homemade firearm as enforcement continues against motorcycle racing gangs. At around 3 a.m, Pattaya City Police responded to reports from residents about a group of youths causing a disturbance at a public park near the weather forecasting office in Pratamnyak Hill. Upon arrival, officers encountered over 20 youths aged 15 to 25 gathered in the area. A search of the group and their motorcycles led to the discovery of a suspicious individual trying to flee. A search of his black shoulder bag revealed a homemade 9mm firearm loaded with 1 bullet. an additional 9mm bullet, and a pocket knife. The suspect was identified as a 19-year-old. During questioning at the Pattaya City Police Station, he admitted he and his friends had been riding their motorcycles when they encountered a rival gang. Fearing trouble, he returned home to retrieve the homemade firearm, which he claimed to have purchased from an unidentified friend some time ago. For self-defense, of course. However, before any confrontation occurred, police apprehended him and the gathering. Shut it down. Authorities have recorded the incident, conducted further questioning, and charged the 19-year-old accordingly. He, along with the seized firearm and items, have been handed over to investigators at the Pattaya City Police Station for legal proceedings. No good. Radio. This will be number 12. It's our last one for the week. Plenty more to come next week. So a Pattaya mechanic, he killed his regular customer in a heated dispute over motorcycle parts. This is all a bit unfortunate, this last story. Anyway, carrying on. The incident occurred when the 31-year-old motorcycle mechanic fatally assaulted his regular customer, a 33-year-old man in Pattaya. The altercation, sparked by a dispute over the cost of motorcycle parts, ended with the 31-year-old man allegedly beating the 33-year-old man to death with a wooden stick. According to police reports, the incident occurred around 11 a.m. after a deputy investigator received reports from the deceased family. They stated that the 33-year-old had been severely injured and was rushed to Pattaya Hospital by the assailant. Despite efforts to save him, he unfortunately succumbed to his injuries, which included severe trauma to his head and back caused by a blunt object. The motive behind the attack was initially unclear, and the family urged police to apprehend the suspect. By 1 p.m. that day, the deputy superintendent and the sub-lieutenant, along with Banglamung Police Station's investigative team, launched a probe. Their investigation led them to a blue Mitsubishi Ute, which was used to transport the victim to the hospital. The driver was identified as a motorcycle mechanic and the victim's friend. Police located him in Soy Wat Thangkrad. The police brought him in for questioning. After over 2 hours of intense interrogation, he confessed to the crime. He told police that early that morning he was sitting near the railway tracks out near Soy Wat Thangkrad, a spot where he frequented, he said. So the victim, a regular customer, who often brought his motorcycle for modifications, approached him carrying a wooden stick nearly a metre long, claiming it was for hitting dogs. That's kind of normal. You see people walk around with a stick, just in case the soy dogs want to give you a bit of a touch-up. So during the conversation, tensions escalated when the victim criticised the high prices of parts at the suspect's shop, comparing them unfavourably to other mechanics. The suspect then retorted, telling the victim to take his business elsewhere. Enraged, the victim allegedly punched the suspect in the face and swung the stick at him. He dodged the blow, wrestled the stick from the victim, and struck him repeatedly until he collapsed. The suspect claimed that after the assault, the victim apologised, saying, "I give up, I'm sorry." The two briefly reconciled, with the victim questioning why they couldn't resolve their differences calmly. However, about 10 minutes later, the victim began experiencing chest tightness and difficulty breathing. Realising the severity of the situation, the suspect drove his motorcycle to pick up his car, the pickup truck, returning to the scene and rushed the victim to the hospital. Despite his efforts, he did not survive. The suspect insisted he had no intentions of fleeing, and he even waited at the hospital for several hours before returning home, where police later apprehended him. He expressed remorse, apologising to the family and claiming he never intended to kill his friend. He attributed his actions to a fit of rage. The police have detained him and seized the 60-centimetre wooden stick and the clothing he wore during the incident. They took him to reenact the whatever happened at the crime scene. So he faces charges of causing bodily harm resulting in death and will be prosecuted accordingly. There you go. Shit story to finish off on, but that happens. Don't whack each other in the head with sticks. You should be right. Anyway, that'll do us for this week. We'll be back. We'll be back with another episode in a couple of days. Remember, stay safe out there, people. Stay safe.